Now you're audible. Woohoo!
Hey,
hello.
it.
We're back
for episode 32.
What year is it? Let's go back.
Quite appropriate that like most of our things are about time travel and our timekeeping is atrocious.
It seems like most streams start with me saying, how long's it been? It's been a while, hasn't it? And it's normally been about 8 weeks.
It's now Phil's catchphrase. We're literally like going to start everyone going, Phil, say it! Phil, say it! Been a while, hasn't it?
Time.
Do the thing.
Yeah. It has been a while.
Good to be back, though.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Owing to holidays and trips away, but we got there finally. And we've got yet another episode of the But Suddenleap saga.
It's another
as well.
Another Iolo collaboration.
It's another Iolo collaboration.
Another Iolo with Iolo as the manager and Luke as the assistant manager.
He got demoted during the process. Yeah.
Do you remember where we got to? What's the context for your script?
I think the last one was by me and you, Phil. We dealt with Napoleon.
It was.
The big cliffhanger last time was that James had misplaced the crystal that allowed Adrian to make his way back to modern times. So that's like going to be the big bugbear of this episode. I think that's it. I think we met the big boss was revealed to have a snake face on his abdomen, and we refer to him as amphibdomen, which was very forced pun. I think like pun came first, character came second in that regard. But
yeah, it feels like it.
The entire story was written around that pun.
You can't tell.
100%.
Pun came first. Phil's resistance came second.
Yeah,
and then
100%. And then I just bulldozed the shit out of you.
Pun. Phil saying, it's not that good a character.
Like, yeah, Phil going, do we need that? And then 10 pages written with him in it, so he feels monstrously guilty telling me not to have it.
It'll take longer to delete it now, Phil. So.
It's already there, and he's kind of a linchpin. Which
part of us now.
Yeah, like I feel bad for Luke in this regard because like I'm sure Luke had like things that he really didn't like, but I'd already written 17 pages of them inside it.
The problem with me is I'm too much of a people pleaser. I'm too scared. No. I love it. Even though.
Well, that's your own fault. That's why you're getting this trash.
No, it's lovely. These are an accidental pun, not pun. It's not really a pun. Because it's the word spelled, it's the proper way. But I thought it was a pun. These are location that we come across later that's in line with amphibdomen, but Yola's shaking his head because it's not. Hold on. Have you changed something again?
No,
that's Yola.
Per your confusion with the word, so I'll tell you it was amphitheater, and then Luke thought that amphitheater was a pun, and it was like an amphibian theater. But it wasn't.
It's just the way it's spelled.
It was just amphitheater. And
can I just ask, really shyly, is it pronounced amphitheater or amphitheater? I genuinely don't know.
Amphi, isn't it?
No, it's not. I thought it was a hard P, but I don't think it is. I think it's amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
No. Amphitheater.
It's one of those words that I've only ever read, so I could very well be wrong.
Chamalia.
I do a hard key, but I don't know.
Philistines is all.
Amphitheater is how I'd pronounce it. But
amphitheater is what I would say as well. But like,
but as we've just found out, Yola has fixed it due to my confusion.
Yeah, it's now referred to as conference hall to make it very easy. But yeah, all this talk of conference halls, I'm sure you're chomping at the bit to read the script.
I feel like we should dive into it.
Yeah, Luke, that means that I need a sound from yourself, please. So if you could give me a sound right about now.
Great.
Solid.
Excellent.
Never
Solid
disappoints.
sound. Good sound.
It's like we've never been away.
Ooh.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I
So
didn't quite land.
we'll just dive into it, shall we?
Let's dive into it.
All right.
Do it.
You can talk about your writing process if you want. That's up to you.
No, I wrote it and then read it and then realised it was shit and went, fuck it.
The usual process.
Yeah. Interior, decrepit amphibian ruined building. Later, James bursts into the room where he left his things, Adrian's body draped over his shoulders. He drops him with a thud back on the gurney and sighs. Fucking tiny
hands, but you're still heavy as fuck, you fuckwit lizard.
What? Could you give a bit of direction as to how this what's the context for?
I have no context. I was like, what was happening?
Is this like fuck off, or is it like fuck off?
Context.
Or does it not matter?
I think it was we made
I think
lots of
it
references.
was
last time.
the running gag
Yeah.
of his tiny hands. I think it was
Yeah, it was
annoying.
exacerbated.
So you're just
off.
annoyed. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah,
Okay.
it's essentially that. Yeah.
Fuck off. There you go.
Right. Well, that's us then. Best grab the crystal.
James walks over to the small cabinet where he earlier stowed the crystal. He opens the drawer but stops short. He moves the detritus of the drawer around, but it's no use. The crystal is gone.
Fuck.
Interior, swirly whirly vortex of time, same time. Adrian continues through the vortex towards a bright light at its end. The light grows as he takes yet another, but suddenly.
But suddenly,
Yeah, that's where the theme song goes. I don't have a title. I don't know where the title's gone, so we'll deal with the title some other time. But I think I called it.
What about the title on the fly? If you had to think of something that tied everything together.
The sword. I called it the sordid call of playful stacking. That's what I've called it. So it'll come into play later. So it's the sordid call of playful stacking is the name of it.
Shoe fits.
Amphibian Theatre wasn't available, no?
Amphitheater's not a bad one either. Interior, decrepit amphibian ruined building. James frantically scours the room trying to find the missing crystal.
Fuck.
Cut to interior, swirly whirly time vortex. Adrian traverses the swirls of time, the bright light at its end growing rapidly closer to him.
What?
Oh, I've lost the crystal.
Adrian is consumed by the bright light at the end of the vortex. Cut to interior, conference hall day. A man with wild, unkempt hair and a pencil-thin moustache stands nervously behind a podium, 100 eyes transfixed on his every movement. He mops sweat from his brow and adjusts his tie.
Yes, of course. Well, in essence, I blew.
Still my favourite part. The man convulses before awakening with a start as Adrian arrives in his new body.
You lost the crystal.
The microphone squeals and the crowd recoils from the sudden outburst. Interior, decrepit amphibian ruined building. James clutches his hair in a panic, the room lying in tatters around him.
I've misplaced it. I'll find it. It's sure to rock up. Don't worry. You need the crystal to keep doing what you're doing. We only need to get you back to the present.
Cut to interior, conference hall day. Adrian, now acutely aware of the hundreds of eyes watching him, puts a finger to his ear and whispers away from the microphone.
That was what I was fucking worried about. Fuck this historical nonsense. You need to be able to get me back here. I am not spending the remainder of my days in this shit show.
You won't. I'll find it.
You damn well better.
A reporter, clutching eagerly to a notepad and pen, chimes in from the front row.
Is everything all right?
Adrian turns again to address the crowd.
What? Yeah. Sorry, just some technical issues. My assistant has royally screwed the pooch. Can't get good stuff these days, eh?
Cut to interior, decrepit amphibian ruined building.
Screw you. It's just fallen somewhere or something. No one's taken it. Things are still normal here. Well, lizard normal. If someone had stolen the crystal and used it, then the future would have...
The room around Jane suddenly reverberates as a mist engulfs the entire room. Everything undulates and warps in front of him, his very eyes, until the room he's in transforms to a workable apartment with a totalitarian aesthetic. Various appliances and furniture suddenly fill the room. Orange carpets and the brown leather couches with torn edges, stoves with rusted hobs, a burgundy corner kitchen, and a CRT TV with long satellite rods protruding from the top.
Changed. Well, shit.
Cut to interior conference hall day.
What?
The microphone again screeches from Adrian's exclamation. The crowd cover their ears.
Sorry, 1 sec.
Adrian turns away from the mic.
What is it?
Cut to interior totalitarian apartment, previously decrepit building.
Well, there's good news and bad news. Bad news, someone's used the crystal to mess with the timeline.
Cut to interior conference hall day.
And the good news?
Cut to interior totalitarian apartment. James looks toward a wall in the apartment, his eyes betraying a sense of overwhelming dread.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you regretting the word totalitarian?
Massively. Fucking totalitarian could get fucked. It's apartment from now on.
I know where the crystal is.
We pan to what James is gawking at, a gigantic portrait hanging on the wall of a gigantic cobra with a crown on its head, the crystal affixed to its front. Underneath the portrait are the words, "King Cobra is watching." James is startled by a voice from behind him.
My most esteemed guests, Wait. What? Where the devil am I?
Adrian's body, now itself housing a historical figure, is sat upright on the couch.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about you.
Alarms suddenly blare from inside the room. Small alcoves open within the ceiling, revealing flashing red lights. A robotic voice booms from seemingly nowhere.
Warnings, warnings. Prepare for inspections. Prepare for inspections.
There's suddenly a furious rapping on the door.
Opens the door! Prepare for inspections!
James quickly turns to Adrian's body, who's looking around in shock.
Listen, Mr. History Man, I know this is a lot to pass, but you're going to have to bear with me here for a bit. Just follow my lead.
James tentatively approaches the door as the furious knocking continues. Cut to interior conference hall, same time. Adrian slowly turns on his heels and faces the crowd, who are all angrily staring daggers at him.
Sorry about that. So where were we? Or when were we? More appropriate, no?
The crowd exchange confused looks as a joke lands on deaf ears.
This guy gets it.
Adrian points toward a monocled man in the ground who seems aghast at being pointed to. That is like the Burgism. That like was like Burge will do that. Cut to interior totalitarian apartment. James, now at the door, opens it a crack to peer outside.
Hello?
Stood proudly behind the door are two lizards dressed in policemen's outfits and clutching truncheons tightly in their claws.
Good evening, human. We have reports of amphibian-like behaviours occurring within these premises.
Frightfully amphibian.
Are you indulging in human recreations? Cursing, sarcasm, Jenga?
Such things are against lizard law.
A gross violation.
The grossest.
James is bewildered.
You see, yes. I'm so sorry. Lizard law?
The laws as beset by King Cobra.
Mighty lizard leader.
May his reign be long and scaly.
Glory to Reptilius Dominus.
Glory!
Right. No. No human recreation here. Just normal lawful things. Abiding by lizard laws and that. Anyways, thanks for checking. Bye.
Prepare for inspection.
Inspection imminent.
The lizards burst through the door, knocking James backwards. This historical figure within Adrian's body recoils at the sight of a gigantic lizard people.
Struth, lizard men.
Sorry. Long story. Keep quiet.
The lizards enter, casting their beady black eyes on the apartment. They immediately begin scanning the room, upturning tables and opening every drawer. Jesus.
Use draw.
Jesus Christ, I am flagging.
Be on the lookout for Jenga pieces, Loke. These two look like fans of playful stacking. Please present your papers.
Papers?
Lizard 2 holds a rolling pin aloft from the kitchen.
Assessment grub.
Rolling pins, Loke.
It could be Jenga, no?
2 rounds, but confiscates anyway, just in case they get any ideas. Human licenses now!
James looks at Adrian's body nervously.
Well, you see, the thing is...
Cut to interior conference hall, same
It's
time.
the Dalek.
I know, I just did the Dalek. I realised that halfway through. I was like, I'm Dalek-ing it. it's Dalek now.
I like it.
Adrian, still stood behind the pedestal, addresses the crowd, who are now nervously whispering amongst each other.
So, how's everyone doing? Keeping all right? What are you up to then?
The crowd look to one another in confusion. A panel of reporters in the front row chime in.
To reveal a brief summary of your new book, sir.
Book, is it? So I'm a writer, am I?
You could say that, Mr. Orwell.
Cut to interior totalitarian apartment. James looks over towards Adrian's body excitedly, a finger to his ear.
Holy shit, George Orwell.
One and the same. I'm sorry, do I know you?
No, but I know you. I love Animal Farm.
Animal Farms?
Animal in farms, chickenings.
A children's author, really?
No, Animal Farm, the book by George Orwell.
Human literature?
Such things are prohibited.
No, it's
Why, it's a lizard book. And a bloody fine one, if I do say so myself.
I've not heard of it.
it's good. It's about humans being pigs. You'd love it.
Oh, this does sound good. You humans are filthy animals.
The filthiest animal farms. Yes, I must look into these books.
Cut to interior conference hall, same time. Adrian tugs at his tie, still nervously addressing the crowd.
Yes, a summary of my newest book, of course. James, help me out here.
Cut to interior totalitarian apartment. James secretly holds a finger to his ear out of sight of the lizard police.
On it. So, George, what was the last book you
The 2 lizard police look over suspiciously.
read? Lizard books. Which one did you last read?
James winks towards him.
Oh, my last. I mean, the last lizard book I read. But a bit of that very one. Animal Farm.
Got you. 1984, mate, if my math is right.
What? Now looks more like the 50s.
1949.
The lizard police look toward them, fizzled.
Silly humans, they don't even seem to know the years.
Stupid, silly humans. It's 2024.
2024?
No, 1984, the book.
Hold on. Is it 2024 or 1984?
Nah, mate, I'm telling you, looks more like the 50s.
1949.
2024?
Jesus. The current year is 2024. I'm referring to the book, 1984. 1984 is the title of the book. For fuck's sake.
Human literature.
Fucking hell. No. Lizard book again, called 1984, about a dismal future where lizards are controlled by a human police.
Oh my!
Hunting cobbles.
Yeah, it's a real...
Washing my hands, that's not me,
Say
but
the line, Adam. Say the line.
It's a real scale scratcher.
washing my hands of that one, that was not me, that was Luke Williams. That was Luke Williams. Sorry, carry on.
Never heard of it.
Same here.
You've never heard of 1984?
I'm sorry, I haven't. Is it H.G. Wells? Can't see what's on.
Oh, not you. Hold on.
James puts a finger to his ear and cranes his head out of earshot.
Adrian, I can't really elaborate. Might cause some time bullshit. You're on your own, but come on, for fuck's sake. It's one of the most popular books of all time.
Give me a quick summary.
Enough of your ear talkings, you!
Are you planning Jenga in secret?
This is against lizard law.
A gross violation.
God damn it. just wing it.
Cut to interior conference hall, same time. Adrian nervously sweats behind his podium, 100 eyes looking his way. He tugs at his collar before proceeding.
My book. A summary of my newest book, eh? Sure. No problem. Well, the book, it's
Adrian Flounders.
it's about a young boy who's he's a wizard. Yeah, goes to some school called Hogwarts and meets this girl called Hermione. They get on, and then they use magic and something about a golden snitch. All very good stuff. Sharing about the author, who is me, obviously. And I'm like the least transphobic person ever. I've literally been a woman.
The crowd stares at him wide-eyed. Excellent. That was the best thing in the world. That's ace. Cut to interior totalitarian apartment.
Wow.
The lizard police, resigned to have not found anything incriminating, meander sadly toward the door.
Well, seems everything is in orders.
I'll never get to use my truncheons.
Yep. See, all good here. Anyway, thanks for coming over. Be sure to check out that book. Me and my friend here have got a lot of catching up to do.
I wills. Don't go doing anything amphibian now.
Oh, we surely won't.
We'd hate to have to take you to King Cobra's lair.
The lizards make their way out the door. Something dawns on James, and he suddenly looks towards the portrait adorning the wall, focusing upon the crystal sat within King Cobra's crown. He sighs.
Listen, I know I owe you an explanation, but there's something I've got to do, and I'm just sorry, okay?
James takes a deep breath.
Right then, back to Jenga.
The door bursts off its hinges.
Jengas!
What the blazes?
The pair of lizards leap atop James and George, tackling them to the ground and beating them mercilessly with their truncheons. Cut to black. Cut to interior conference hall. Adrian continues prattling on.
Okay, right. Clearly you weren't fans of that one. How about... Oh, okay. There's a CEO, right? He gets a new secretary, and he has this room full of sex toys. He paddles a bottom to bits, and she bloody loves it.
The crowd gasp in disgust.
Outrageous!
Absolute filth! A monocled man from earlier chimes in. Fade to interior police car. James awakens in a police car. George Orwell sat next to him, staring dumbfoundedly out the window.
What in the heck are you playing at, friend? First you summon this strange, dismal future of yours, and then you get me arrested for no apparent reason.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. Listen.
James looks ahead of him and sees that the two lizard policemen are within earshot.
It's hard to explain. In essence, you're in the future, my friend is in your body in the past. We're trying to fix the future, and to do so, we need a crystal fix, so Snake King's friend.
There's a brief pause.
Oh, why didn't you bloody say so? All right. What's the plan?
Wow. I didn't think you'd be so receptive.
I have endured 2 world wars, friend. I know a call to action when I see one.
Kick really nicely delivered, Phil.
Subtle but effective. Not how I describe them. I'll be honest with you, though. I'm glad you grabbed me when you did. You see, I was in a bit of a state ever since Animal Farm did so well. Everyone has been chomping at the bit for any knowledge of my next book, when in truth I have nothing. Not an iota. Suffering from the old writer's block there, I say. I was in the middle of a press conference, just as you nabbed me. Good thing, too, I had nothing.
There it is.
What's that now, boy?
Oh, nothing. Just something outside the window caught my eye.
Something other than the totalitarian reptile police force?
Yeah. Thought I saw a hedgehog.
Oh, really?
George Orwell turns enthusiastically and looks out the window. He's suddenly taken aback by the world that unfurls around him. Decrepit streets are overrun with lines of people pushed and prodded along by brutish lizard men in authoritarian uniforms. Large frog-shaped drones man the skies as a gigantic screen portraying the face of King Cobra overlooks them all.
You know what? It's all quite fantastical, isn't it? A wholly environment, control over the masses, controlling what they eat, what they do, heck, even what they think, like some sort of thoughts.
George's musings are interrupted by James, who drags him away from the window.
Sounds like a shit situation to me that would make an absolutely terrible story. No more looking out windows for you. I want your complete undivided attention over here.
What? Why is that?
Well, because I need you of sound mind and body. You need to focus up and try not to get inspired.
James, what are you doing?
I need him. He's no use to me as a bloody body. He gets one whiff of 1984 and he'll zip back to the bloody past.
What about correcting the course of human history at any cost, eh? Not so important now and as you, is it?
Well, it can wait a few minutes. Last thing I need is him popping off, even with Michael Jackson or some shit like that.
Images, not my lizard. Scaly criminal. Thriller.
Yeah. Very clever. How's it going over there?
Cut to interior conference hall.
Not the best.
Adrian turns back to the podium, where the flock of hands are raised in the audience. He points to one.
Yep, you there.
So the 4 is placed instead of the first E, so it's like 4 expendables.
No, it's in lieu of the A. So it's expendables. Not that bad, really. Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, and the big guy from Rocky.
The Rockies?
No, I think he was only in one.
Cut to exterior, King Cobra's domain. James and George Orwell arrives at their destination, a gigantic, intimidating black pyramid-shaped building at the heart of the city. In front of the building is a large portrait of King Cobra. James and George are escorted out the car.
So, do we get to meet him now? The king, I mean.
You meets the kings? Of course not. First you're doing simulations.
Assimilation?
Yes, you're put in a room with your absolute worst fears. Once we've broken you down, we reprograms your mind, imbuing it with amphibian ideals so that you can once again be an upstanding citizen, member of society, unaffected by the sordid call of Jengas.
Like Room 101.
Room 101?
Never your mind.
Oh, that's a pretty cool name. Better than the name we have for it.
Spooky, scary rooms.
The pair are escorted into the building. Cut to interior conference hall.
Then it's like... Dun, 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 dun. Ghostbusters.
They capture the spirit so that they're the mediums.
Third one was. First two are absolute bangers, though.
Cut to interior Cobra's domain. Spooky, scary rooms. James, now strapped to a chair, sweats profusely as he sits in a darkened room.
Okay, guys. I think I'm done. Let's get me reprogrammed and taken to King Cobra. Guys!
Suddenly, there's a whirring noise from within the room.
Guys, I really don't think we need to do this. Guys!
At the end of the room, a ghostly visage starts to form. It flickers and sputters before taking the shape of a large purple being with an antennae protruding from its head.
Winky, winky.
Away from me, you foul beast!
Teletubbies? Still?
The monsters,
Really?
Adrian. Literal monsters.
They're children's TV mascots.
They have TVs in their stomachs and live underground. They're monsters.
Tinky Winky slowly ambles over.
Tinky Winky.
Stay away from me, you purple menace.
Why Tinky Winky specifically, though?
He's got the bag. What's in the bag, eh? What's in the bag?
Suddenly, the darkness within the room is interrupted by light. George Orwell stands proudly in a door-shaped hole, having burst it down to save his compatriot.
All good, old fellow.
George, you saved me.
As I said, friend, 2 world wars. What the?
George Orwell looks towards Tinky Winky, who seems to be dancing happily.
Really?
Their sons are laughing, baby.
Right. Right. Mine was of my family being tortured by resurgence of the Nazi Party. But I suppose this fear is just as legitimate.
George Orwell releases James from his bindings. They nod in solidarity when suddenly they're taken aback by the appearance of 2 lizard policemen from earlier in the doorway, battered and bruised from their own truncheons.
There's the is!
Guess them.
Think we need to Amsgrave, friend.
George and James make a run for it. Cut to interior conference hall. Adrian, now in a slump, sitting against the front of the podium he was once standing behind, rattles off another idea.
Gosh, I don't know. Her name is South Boge. She wants to be a musician. She's a gnome. She lives in a blue forest. Goes off on a magical journey.
Luke?
Sorry, I accidentally clicked off it. What page are we on?
Now we're cooking.
23.
I was on 27. 23. What was the last line?
Magical journey.
Oh, now we're cooking.
Where she meets the CEO, who paddles the absolute bejesus out of her.
And you lost us.
Oh, but you chomp at the bit for a story about a bloody animal farm.
I think you need to just keep it relevant. Like they say, you should write what you know. How about something about post-war UK? A story pertinent to the current times.
Fucking hell.
Well, you know it. Interesting. All right, then. How about this? There are these two guys, Adrian and James. One day, they're out for a walk, and they stumble upon a strange, glowing crystal.
Cut to interior. King Cobra's the main hallway. George and James run from their pursuers through a maze of hallways.
Quickly, friend, down here.
The pair tuck down an adjacent corridor.
Honestly, I think I prefer the decrepit future where the lizards had the decency to eat you when they caught you. This future has so much more running.
Keep up, old chum. We've almost made it to the...
George stops quickly in his tracks, James bumping into the back of him.
What? What's the matter?
Looking beyond George's shoulders, James witnesses what forced George to stop so rapidly.
Well. Look what the cat dragged in.
Always a pleasure.
The boss stands menacingly in front of them, cracking his knuckles.
Totally forgot about the boss.
Yeah. Lizards. Technically, it's lizards who dragged us here.
It's not all we'll do to you.
Dare say, old fellow, I do believe that man's stomach has a snake face.
Yeah. That's a long story too.
I don't think... Oh, wait, it was the wrong word. I don't think you'll be too pleased with the ending.
The two snake police officers catch up behind them, completely surrounding them. Grab them both. King Cobra wants to see them. The two police officers restrain the pair as the boss and Fibderman lead them away. Cut to interior conference hall, same time.
And then this hired cockney fella, right, has a snake where his stomach is, and they call him, wait for it, Amphibian.
Adrian doesn't quite get the reaction he was hoping for.
Really? I thought it was brilliant.
It feels forced somehow. It's like a lot of hoops to jump through just for a good pun.
And prior to this, you've not established any sort of human-lizard hybrid. The lizards thus far have only wanted to eat the humans and have expressed no interest in wanting to amalgamate with them into lizard kind. It's like you fought the pond first and create the carrot second.
Also, whilst we're discussing it, how does the crystal know when the timeline has been corrected to send this Adrian fellow onward? And how does it gauge who is and is not a historical figure? Are we to believe that the crystal has sentience, that it's able to pass whether a person made a considerable impact on the timeline, and not only that, but accurately assess that Adrian has fulfilled the quota of rectifying the timeline, as you put it? Seems a bit out there.
Yeah, well, they only had a defibrillator, but, well, that's just sort of fell off.
And how does someone who's as knowledgeable and well-read as this James chap have such an unreasonable fear of large purple children's mascots?
Cut to interior King Cobra's domain.
They eat pancakes with faces on.
James is whacked in the back by a truncheon.
Silence you! You're in the presence of the mighty King Cobra.
James and George are pushed to the ground in front of a lavish throne, reptilian statues lining the room. King Cobra sits pridefully atop the throne, a gigantic serpentine staff within his grasp. As James and George Orwell, in Adrian's body, enter, he sits up enthusiastically, casting a gleeful tongue over the air in the room.
James. Adrian.
Love it. Excellent.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
James rises to his knees. Love it.
Wait, you know who we are?
Of course. It is only fair one knows about one's saviors. You have proven to be difficult to track down.
Yeah, well, been kind of busy. By the timeline and all that.
King Cobra rises from his throne.
Ah, yes. Rectifying. Ensuring that the timeline returns to the one you feel is superior, correct?
No, not superior. It was the original one, the OG timeline, before all this reptile business sullied it.
And how, Perchance, did this timeline get so sullied, eh? What was the contributing factor to this timeline's complete and utter upheaval? Does your little history friend know that?
What? James?
Drifting in and out, innit? It's drifting in and out.
Oh, James, what's he talking about?
James
Shifting in and
sighs.
out of what?
At least 4 have come to mind so far.
James sighs.
It was us. We did it. We messed about with the crystal and caused all this.
What? This is your doing?
Indeed. You brought about the rain, dear friend. If anything, I should thank you.
Okay, great. If you could just pop me that crystal you got there as a thanks, I'll be on my way.
King Cobra laughs.
Unfortunately not, friend. You see, you and your friend's little jaunt through time gave rise to my people. If I were to allow you to continue, it might mean the eradication of my kind. You'd not want to be responsible for the complete genocide of a people, would you?
Well, no, but it's not right. It's not the right timeline. We just want things to return to normal.
Normal, is it? All the wars, all the hatred, all the fighting. You'd want us all to return to that, would you?
It wasn't all bad.
Do you know what it was like for my people on the moon, constantly suffering below ground, forced to eat our young to stay alive, always looking up to the sky and seeing your blue little pearl of salvation, so far away? Do you know what that feels like? Being so close to your savior, yet not being able to reach it.
Sorry. You know what? It's really funny, as I was like, where is this voice from? And then as soon as you said the word moon, it's the moon from Mighty Boosh. And I was like, oh my god, yeah. I am
You
the
realise that's what
moon.
you're doing, Virgil?
Yeah, I've been getting it coming up in my TikTok feed loads. Just the moon for Mighty Douche. So it's just sort of got in.
I am the moon. Sorry, carry on.
Well, I suppose I don't.
Well, you still might.
King Cobra grasps his crown and pops out the crystal, holding it in front of James' face.
Look here, one small little time crystal. The only way you can ever return to your timeline. The only way you can ever see your little friend ever again. So close, yet so far.
King Cobra toys with the crystal in his hands.
You see, I wore this crystal as decoration, but in truth I no longer have need of it. I have all that I want, all that I could dream of. In reality, this crystal's existence represents the biggest threat to me and my people, and as such, well, it might be time to destroy it once and for all.
You wouldn't.
Oh, I would. You see, I am the King Cobra. I am Reptilius Dominus. What I say goes. No longer am I stuck on the moon, destined to live my life underground. I am the ruler of a planet. I am...
The door to the throne room suddenly bursts open. King Cobra, the boss, Amphibdemon, and the lizard officers are taken aback by the intrusion.
Did you not close the spooky, scary door?
Tinky Winky comes bounding in.
Tinky Winky.
That's you again, Verge.
Oh, sorry.
What is this monstrosity?
Taking advantage of the distraction, George Orwell swings on his heels and kicks the palm of King Cobra, causing the crystal to fly in the air. The entire room looks on in horror as the crystal flies to the air before landing in James' palm.
Bucket!
James and George take off running. Before leaving, James looks back towards Tinky Winky and gives him an appreciative nod.
Thanks, Tinky Winky.
Clip that. And thus the saga of James and Tinky Winky comes to a satisfying close when suddenly, I kid, let's continue. Cut to interior conference hall. Adrian, now dejectedly leaning against the podium, sighs again.
Listen, I don't know. All right, let's just call this what I miss. Okay, I'm not good at this stuff. Just go home.
The crowd dejectedly been shuffling away. Cut to interior, Cobra's domain, back rooms. James and George shut a door tightly on their pursuers, locking it behind them. We hear banging as the snake people try to knock down the door.
That won't hold for long.
No, won't. What do we do?
Seems we're cornered, old chap.
Seems so. I guess this is the end.
I suppose. But there's always hope. There was a time we thought all hope was lost in the war, but we soon made it through. Where there's even a slight resistance, there's a hope for victory.
Yeah, tell that to evil snake people.
Well, sure beats giving a conference on a book you've not written, right?
You'll get there.
What makes you so sure?
Say I have a hunch.
Well, here's hoping you're right. Can't say I'm in too much of a rush to go back, though.
Why'd you say that?
God forbid. Miss out on all this. Totalitarian government with complete control over its citizens, led by a singular personality who ensures no one even thinks about the possibility of resistance to his regime. Well, it's like something from...
Don't you dare.
A story.
There's a brief pause before George and Adrian's body slumps to the ground.
Fuck!
Interior, conference hall, same time. Adrian continues moping, now stood at the podium.
Couldn't resist. One last.
This is a 2-1.
Bring it back.
Sorry to disappoint you all. Just go home. There's no point.
Bloopy sloopy.
Like, one of my scripts is going to be all that. Adrian, in George Orwell's body, suddenly falters before George Orwell reawakens in his own body.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry, everyone. I apologize for keeping you waiting. Have I got a story for you?
The crowd members enthusiastically turn toward the podium.
It's called 2024. No, wait. What was it? 1949. No, that's now. 1984. That's it. 1984. Set in the future. It's about a totalitarian government led by an amphibian.
The crowd sighs. Amphibians? Again? Really?
Okay, no amphibians. It's led by an enigmatic figure. We'll call him Big Brother.
Cut to interior, King Cobra's domain, back rooms. James looks dejectedly upon the body of Adrian lying on the floor as the lizards continue trying to barge the door down.
Well, I'm fucked.
Open the doors, we command you!
Well, that's another one done and dusted. How's it going your side?
Shit, mate. End of the road, I think.
What? No, it can't be. You've got to get the crystal back.
James looks upon the crystal in his hand.
I've got the crystal.
Then what's wrong? We're all sorted, right?
No. I think I'm about to become a banquet for a bunch of fuckwit lizards.
Oof. That's rough.
At least we have each other, eh?
Cut to interior, swirly whirly time vortex. Adrian traverses the time portal.
Suppose so. Wish I could be there to help you somehow.
Cut to interior, King Cobra's domain, back rooms. James plays with the crystal in his palm.
Yeah, I wish I could.
An idea dawns on James.
Uh-oh.
What? They're there?
No. I just had a very bad idea. Very bad.
What?
The door to the room begins buckling.
What is it?
Cut to interior, swirly whirly time vortex. Adrian continues traversing the time vortex, a bright light steadily closing in on him.
James? Did they get you? James?
Adrian is suddenly struck by an object ramming into his side. Looking over, he sees James floating alongside him in the portal.
James?
Told you it was a bad idea.
Shit.
The pair traverse further along the time portal as the light at its end almost fully engulfs them.
Fuck it. Hail Mary, eh?
Fuck yeah. Let's fix this fucking timeline.
The pair are engulfed by the light as they both take their But Suddenleaps.
My God.
My God. Very good.
That was fun. That was really fun, guys. Well read. GG's. Good job as always.
I enjoyed that thoroughly.
I can say when I was writing King Cobra, I never in my life pictured that he would be read that way.
Sorry.
No, don't apologise. It was absolutely excellent. I loved it.
Do you know what's really nice? Do you know what's really nice to see? After having done this so much, everybody's deliveries were really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
We've done it so many times now. You might even argue that we have a bit of experience.
What can say that? Yeah, no, it's great.
Honestly, great deliveries all around.
Because I was trying to figure out who should be King Cobra, and then I remember thinking like Burge always gets like straight man roles, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give like Burge like the big bad in this one, just as a laugh, just to sort of like see what he does with it, and I was thoroughly pleased.
I like the twist at the end, though. It's going to be interesting to see where...
So I'm sorry, Birch, but my rectification is that you don't have to split the timeline now. You can just have James and Adrian be in the past and rectify whatever linchpin caused all this, and then, like, the end.
Wrap it all up neatly with a bow, please.
Yeah.
Or just pull a James and Adrian never returned home. I think that'd be quite funny as well.
With the name spelt wrong.
Yeah.
Adrian with a U. Adrian.
Yeah.
They become and live in the bodies of the Kellogg's brothers forever.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent, actually. Kellogg's brothers be fun. But yeah.
No, it's good. It's good though. I
enjoyed it.
Really enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
With the
whole like the movie pitching thing was really cool.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
The what? Sorry.
The movie, like Adrian pitching the movie.
Oh yeah, I know that made me laugh because originally I had like that was like going to be like a scene. I think me and Luke agreed that like we'd have it be a scene, and then like Adrian's side would be like a lot more. But then like early on, I think we realized that to like really encapsulate the fact that like the future has changed, we have to focus a lot more on James's side. So it's like worthwhile just to have Adrian do a fun thing throughout it, kind of similar to what me and Phil did.
Yeah, with the tiki bar thing.
Stuff.
It made sense for the story. We started with following Adrian more, and obviously the focus has slowly shifted over to James, and now finally to come full circle to both of them.
Yeah,
I think they're both in the spotlight.
I do think there is something too, and there's like a good idea behind the idea that you have Quantum Leap as normal, but the historical figure awakens in the future. I genuinely think that's like a funny idea, because I think like that's one of the better developments of this script, is that like the historical figure now is with James, because then you get like two sides. Both sides have, it's like Burgess, Adrian becomes comfortable with the past. Simultaneously, James has to sort of like explain the future to the history man. So you get like two sides of it, and it's like it's really interesting. I really quite like it. I think if we were to write a Quantum Leap comedy spec script, I think I would like suggest we'd keep that sort of aspect of it, because I think it'd be funny.
Absolutely.
Good shout.
But yeah, Verge, how are you feeling about trying to end it all? Are you hopeful? Stressing?
I haven't given it loads of thought.
Fair enough.
You have time. We took a very long time.
I've got 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Stick to it. Yeah, 7 weeks, and it essentially ends with Tinky Winky coming to save the day. So yeah, like that's my limit.
I hope you appreciate the nuance that I tried to bring to Tinky Winky.
Yeah, absolutely. You made him a three-dimensional character to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I felt his motivation.
It's quite intense.
No, it should be fun. Yeah, I'll think of something.
Cool. Awesome. Right. Yeah. And we don't have to spin the wheel. Burge is the sort of like last man standing to a certain degree. So Burge is the last one. So we're not spinning the wheel, unfortunately, this week. Burge is going to take it, and in a couple of weeks we're going to have a nice finale that'll summarise the But Suddenleap's saga, and then possibly next week in 2 weeks we'll do the spinner, and then whoever lands on the spinner can essentially choose the direction for the next saga. I think.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe it's out, except for me, like because I brought this one on, so possibly like I'll exclude myself out of the consideration.
Then is there an argument to be said that it falls down to me and Phil, because the three of you have chosen the direction of all three sagas? So possibly. Adam, then Bird, then you.
Yeah, I'm in for a Phil Luke flip if you like.
Sounds good. Yeah. Bring it on.
Sorry guys, it's cyberpunk from now.
We're gonna have like the most serious action cyberpunk sequence. No room for comedy.
Serious drama now, guys.
It's gonna be like a tearful like scene as like one of us cries over a dead body. It's gonna like turn into just solid drama from now on.
2 pages of tears.
It gets a little noir.
Burge, if you fancy doing like a halvesies on this one, I'm happy to pitch in. I feel like I've copped out a little bit this round, so if you want to fancy doing like a duet, then I'm game. But if not, and you'd rather solo it and that would be cumbersome, then don't worry.
Yeah, no, totally up for that.
Got to caveat that I have no ideas. Like, I'm not coming just like I've got a great idea, Burge. That's not happening. I'm just saying I'm happy to help.
Yeah, sounds good.
I totally forgot about that because, like, Adam, you've technically we skipped yours because you were like had a lot on that week or something, didn't we? And I think we never jumped back. So yeah, that's a cracking idea. Realistically, at least it gives everyone a sort of turn.
Cool.
I did write one to be like I'm like.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you totally skipped it. No, I know. I'm not like saying like, but
Just
no,
got it there.
no, yeah, I know. I remember it. You
with the
introduced
allusions to the
you introduced the
moon system.
moon reptiles, which I like added as like canon because I was like, I don't want to like establish that the lizards came from the moon, but also I think it's like a really cool like vision to have like the snakes look up at the planet and like they're being on the moon, and then maybe like something just causes them to wipe out, and then I don't know. I genuinely haven't got a clue what the like lore of it is.
I'm a big fan as well, whether like intentional or not, of this vagueness between like snakes and reptiles and amphibians and lizards. It's just like
it's anything now. I think it started off as just frogs, and then
started as frogs.
Yeah, Phil
He's got
introduced
King Cobra.
muscular amphibians is Phil's idea, and then I think it's everything now, King Cobras and everything.
It's my great legacy of this saga, I think. The muscular amphibians.
Giant muscular toad.
Hell yeah.
Also, can I put like a 5-script ban on Phil doing Posh Englishman?
I know.
Variations.
I love your like you read it so well though. I was gonna say that earlier that like your like Phil's Posho is so
hard not
fun.
just to do Debonair.
I know Debonair was there.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Monsters.
That's why I threw in a Scouse accent on one of my like short roles.
I like that.
Let's go Scouse. There's no direction. We're going Scouse.
Right, chaps, I'm gonna have to dart.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye,
Sounds good.
viewers. Bye, viewers.
Bye, everyone.
Viewers.
Bye, viewers.
Thanks, everyone.